This is exactly how I lost 50 pounds in 2 months and how you can too. Now, most people think it's all about exercise, but the trick is trading those cookies for some protein. Keeping track of those macros will put you in a calorie deficit with enough protein for the muscle mass. If you want to know the best way to get ripped, comment six pack and I'll send you a guide on how to get ripped up for the summer. Now, the first thing that I did, and it shouldn't come as a surprise for most of you, and that was being in a caloric deficit. No matter how you look at fat loss, the most important thing is always going to be staying in a caloric deficit. And once you master that, that's going to allow you to finally start making progress. Problem is that a lot of people want to focus on the workouts in the gym. And while that is very useful, it's simply just not the main thing. You could be doing the best workouts in the world, having the best workout routine in the world, but if you are not in a caloric deficit, you will never lose body fat. So if you are trying to lose body fat, the first thing that you want to do is to make sure that you are staying in a caloric deficit. The best way to do that, and the first thing that you probably want to do if you want to be in a caloric deficit, is to actually start tracking your food. If you know what you are eating, that's what's going to allow you to make the proper adjustments that you need. A lot of times people won't actually make any progress because all they do is go to the gym and just expect to lose weight. But when you go to the gym, a lot of times you actually build up your appetite. So if you're not paying attention to what you're eating, there's a good chance that you can end up in a caloric surplus. And for most people, their diets are just average. They're not excellent, they're not terrible, but they're just average. And so when you come back after a long gym session, chances are you'll be thirsty, you'll reach for the orange juice, which obviously most people think fruit juice, that's healthy. But when you're drinking massive amounts of fruit juice, it's going to be high in sugar, which is high in calories, which is most likely going to put you in a caloric surplus. And when your body has more carbohydrates than it can utilize, it's just going to turn those into fat. So a lot of times, the reason why people aren't actually seeing any progress when they're going to the gym is simply because they're not tracking what they're eating. You see, if you simply just knew how many calories you were consuming, that would give you a big enough reason to actually check the calories on the fruit juice and actually keep the portion sizes where they need to be, because that's ultimately going to be the biggest difference maker. It's literally just going to be the difference between you having 1 glass of orange juice and 5 glasses of orange juice because you're thirsty because you just had a workout. Right, when you start paying attention to the details, that's when you're really going to start making progress. For me personally, how I started off is that instead of trying to do everything at once, I took a process that was more gradual. So instead of trying to cut my calories in half the first day, all I did was I started tracking what I was eating. What that did is it made me more conscious of my eating habits, and naturally over time I started making better decisions. And that's ultimately what leads someone to losing fat, is making better decisions over time. That's why tracking your food makes such a big difference. And when you look at the majority of people who have lost a lot of fat and kept it off, they know exactly what they're eating, right? When you take out all the guesswork and you become surgical, you become much more calculated, you don't have to worry about the ups and downs of will I lose weight or will I not lose weight, because you know exactly what you're consuming. And on the other end, there's no choice, anybody has no option but to lose fat, because you understand what you were eating and you made the right decisions. So obviously if you do want to lose fat, I can't stress this enough, pay attention to what you're eating, know what you're eating, and you will lose fat. Now, one thing that is really important to do, especially if you're going to be in a caloric deficit, is to make sure that you understand macronutrients, right? So what is macronutrients? It's fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, right? Anything you eat is going to fall into one of these 3 categories. And what is extremely important when you're on a fat loss journey is to make sure that your protein numbers are high enough. The reason why you need to do that is because if your protein numbers are too low, you will lose massive amounts of muscle mass when you're in a caloric deficit, and that's not what you want, because typically people want to be ripped, they want to have a muscular physique. But if you're losing just as much muscle as body fat, you won't end up with a stronger physique, you'll just become weaker and smaller, right? You become a smaller fat version of yourself. So typically what happens is people become skinny fat when they don't have enough protein, right? It's very common, especially nowadays with all of the bad press that there is about animal proteins, is that people think they want to cut calories. What's got the most calories? The protein, right? The meat. And they cut out the meat. And while that will, chances are, put you in a caloric deficit, what you don't want to do is to be